Hi, I'm Nicky T, paintball professional. Today, we're going to talk about the off-season and how to make it work for you. Hi, I'm Nicky T, paintball professional. So what is the off-season? To my mind, it's any period of time that you're not actively competing. So for example, say my last event of the 2019 season was going to be World Cup, and I knew that I wasn't going to play competitively until March 2020, then my off-season would go from the end of World Cup, so early November, all the way through to March. The off-season is a very personal thing. There's no hard and fast rules about how long a break you have to take, or even what you have to do during that time that you're not actively competing. In order to assist you guys in how to make the most of your off-season, I've put together the following guide of how I approach mine. I generally try and keep a bit of a log of how the season is going as each event comes up. So try and maintain that report style log in the sense of what's the event, which team I'm playing for, who I'm playing with, as in who else is on the squad and playing at that time, the location, what the weather was like, all of these extra details that I'm likely to forget as the year passes. But what I want to look for in my off season is any trends of, okay, when the conditions are like this is what typically happens. And the more I learn about that aspect of how I perform, the greater I can tailor my off season to improve subsequent seasons. So in my performance diary, I like to keep track of certain information so that at the end of the season, I can analyze that data and see if there are any trends. You know, do I play a certain type of paintball in certain types of conditions, etc. So aside from, I guess, the more obvious details of location, weather, format, team, equipment, I also try and keep track of how I feel my nutrition was in the week running up to that event. How was my sleep the night before the event? What was my competition management in terms of, did I stay overnight prior to the event? Did I travel on the day? What was the travel like? What time allocation was there from arriving at the field to actually starting to play? Really trying to go more in depth into all of these aspects because they all attribute to how capable you are of performing on the day. I'd be willing to bet that not many of you, if any, actually keep any consistent form of performance diary. So what I plan on doing as the off-season matures is making the electronic form that I use available. So if any of you want it, you can download it, print it off, put it in a folder, or just keep an electronic version going as the seasons materialize. One of the aspects that I don't think many take into consideration in a longer term view is actually the cost of the days that you've played throughout the season as well. There's obviously the costs of entry fees, paint, food and drink, maybe fuel, so travel, accommodation if applicable. And I think it's going to become increasingly important to see if there's a correlation between the cost of the day, and not just cost in financial sense, the cost in terms of maybe even the emotional sense, winning, losing, competing, fun days, etc. How does that correlate to your enjoyment? And that's really key. Paintball has to be fun. Win, lose or draw, if you're not having fun, you're probably not getting the most out of your day. If training, and this doesn't just have to be, oh, we didn't win, that wasn't fun. There's always that great move, there's always that great game that stays with you, and those memories are what is going to fuel the fire to improve and encourage that quest to succeed even more so. The second phase of how I approach my off season is change. What needs to change? What do I want to change? On many levels, this can come into effect. Are you happy with the equipment that you're using? Are you happy with the format that you're playing? Are you happy with the team that you're on? In all of these areas, you need to be honest with yourself. At the end of the day, 99.9% of people who play paintball are spending their money and will never make a penny from playing. So it has to be worthwhile. Think deep and hard about, are you happy where you currently are? And if you're not happy where you currently are, what can you do about it? I know typically at this time of year, there's a lot of tryouts available for teams in your area. Are any of them worth your while visiting? Is that worth discussing with your team to see if you can make changes in the organisation that negate you needing to go there? Equipment wise, what marker are you using? What paint have you been shooting? What loader have you been using? What masks? Do you have any sponsors, etc.? There's so many opportunities here to develop a relationship with the paintball industry that can get you using the products you want to use. Now's the time to really double down on those efforts, speak to the manufacturers, speak to the suppliers, and start discussing your aspirations for the next season and how you can help them, not just how they can help you. Historically, I've had the greatest success when I've written down my plan of action. What changes do I want to make? How do I want to achieve them? And what do I need to do to make them happen? You've got to commit to your plan, and the more detailed you are in your approach to how you're going to achieve it, the greater your chances of success are. The final stage of my approach to the off-season is actually action, doing it. Let's say you want to get fitter. What are you going to do to get fitter? Join a gym, go running, do yoga, do plyometrics, etc. Just get stuck in and start doing it. As obvious as it sounds, the sooner you commit and start actioning the plan, the greater the progress that you can potentially make during your off season. An increasingly important component of health isn't just physical, but it's also your mental health. On one level, I think this is easily understandable in terms of the enjoyment that you get from playing, either at certain venues, in certain environments, certain formats of paintball, or with certain other players. On another level, I think we can go much deeper into this topic matter. Quality of sleep, how disruptive is real life to your paintball aspirations. Some people have stress from work, some people have stress from home life, some have stress from all areas of life. There's financial stress. What can you do in any of those regions to alleviate any of that pressure, any of that stress, and build greater enjoyment from your time playing paintball? Again, it's very important to be as honest with yourself as you can, because this is a huge area in which players can unknowingly improve. If you begin to enjoy your paintball more, I can practically guarantee that you'll play better, you'll be more relaxed, you'll have more fun, and your circle of friends, your circle of influence will expand. It's contagious. People react well to enjoyment. It's the opposite of a vicious circle. If everybody's having fun, more people are going to go, oh, what's that? I want to get involved. And that's how we can all contribute to enhancing the paintball experience. I really hope that you found this video useful. This is a slight shift in the content that I have been producing, so I'm super keen to get your feedback on how you're planning your off season. What are you going to do? What are your aspirations for the following season? And how are you going to make those happen? I look forward to hearing from you guys soon.